What's up, everybody? This is Big Germ again. I'm going to show you guys a couple things for my Queen 14 team. My account's pretty much middle gear. I don't have, my Zatlux isn't really strong, and obviously for that team he's going to be the most important. So just a real quick test somebody showed me. If you take the spells off and run Zatlux all by himself, let me show you mine's stats real fast. So he does have 5,000 attack, and he's at 69% crit rate. You really want to be 70. That 1% will actually cause you to fail occasionally. Crit damage is 260. He's not. He might be a high end of the middle gear. I do have another account with one with a little bit less stats, and he can do it too. But here's a good way to test. So you're just going to put Zatlux in by himself. You're going to start it, and this would work for 13 or 14. Basically, if he can kill a little crab by himself, you're good to go. As you can see, mine can't. If yours can do this, then obviously you're going to be good to go for Queen 14, or you're already doing it. But because he's kind of low on the stats, if you run him with Yolanda, so Yolanda does attack up 2, so you want to have her fast because she's got to go before Zatlux. As far as the gear goes, I mean mine's got a bit of health, 21,000. The only thing she's really there for is, to buff Zatlux. So if I throw her in, if you don't have her, there's other characters that do attack up 2 that you might be able to try. But if I put attack up 2 on Zatlux, and now try to kill the crab, and the crab died. So at that point, I know that this team will get through the waves, right? Because not only did she give him attack up 2, but he has an extra turn. So there's nobody else on the team, so he's probably not going to kill the big crab. This is where you bring in other members, right? So I'm going to bring in Gangello and Santis. I know a lot of people don't have Gangello. If you don't, I don't really have an answer for you. I know some people use Valuk. There are other teams that work. I just am displaying if you have these characters, this will work. So you're gonna want your team order. Let's see, you gotta have Gangello go before Santis. And mine are in revival gear. A lot of people run cursed sets. And that's fine. I just prefer, a little added benefit here of revival, because that way there's less chance of anybody dying. But Santis, gear-wise, you definitely want over 100% focus, or at least 100%, to make it consistent. My Santis doesn't have a ton of health, but she's 189 speed. And then Gangello. Gangello's 22,000 health, 196 speed, so he's going to go before Santis. 123% focus. I have these two set up for Dragon because I don't have to change anything to run them in Gemini Dragon. So like I said, if your Zatlux is strong enough with a buffer to kill the crabs, you're pretty much going to be good to go. I always go for the right ad first. You can pick the boss first, but the time is about the same. So I have mine set elite on the right, boss is second, and I always leave Gangello's abilities on. That way the poisons can beat down the big crabs enough to where my Zatlux can kill them. I run this team all the time. Even at 69% crit rating, Zatlux rarely misses a crit. So if you have Zatlux, I'm sure you know that you only need 70% crit on him because he has a 30% passive crit as long as you have him, you know, upgraded and ascended. So this time he didn't kill the crab. So if that happens, you're gonna have to turn on Santis's abilities as well. So I must have changed some gear recently. But it's an easy solution. Just turn on Santis's abilities. It slows the run down a little bit, but if your Zatlux isn't strong enough, this is what you have to do. That's why I have Gangelo's abilities on. Eventually your Zatlux will be strong enough to where it won't matter, right? You know, you'll be able to do it without their abilities on. But, you know, mine's just not at that level. Like I said, my gear in this game is, I'm probably about middle, maybe a little higher. I've only been farming 14s for probably 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Not a real long time. But this should go through with no problem now. That was pretty embarrassing. But like I said, my Zatlux is not the strongest. He was. I took some gear off him to put on somebody else, and then I rebuilt the pieces I took off him, and apparently I lost something I needed. But as you can see, he's cutting through them pretty easy now. Now they're gonna hit that right ad. I know a lot of people don't have Yolanda. A lot of people don't have Gangelo. And I mean, for Queen of Tides 14, I know you can do it with other characters. There's lots of videos, a lot of compositions using Valuk, and I mean, there's all kinds of them out there now. But this team is probably one of the faster, more consistent ones I've found. So I'm sticking with it. I run this on auto 10 at a time. I haven't seen it fail with all their abilities on. That was actually the first time I've seen it fail with Santis's abilities off. So I am going to post more videos, just my teams I use for Ash 14, my team for Gemini Dragon, and my team for Witch of the Wind. The Witch of the Wind team's really sketchy, doesn't always win. Like I said, I'm mid-range geared, so my Nathalia isn't super strong. But I mean, I've been running 14, so just at the gear grind phase. It's like everybody else, waiting for the next thing to come out on this game. I really like Ace. I think they have a good. I think you get a lot for what you put into it, right? You know, for $20 a month, you can play pretty regularly and, you know, enjoy a lot of the stuff in the game. The bottleneck of the gear in, you know, the gear grind is hard to deal with. But Zatlux died there. He usually does. Sometimes Santis dies, but overall, I mean, that's it. They did achieve. You know, they won. My Yolanda is not A2. If you guys have any criticism, you can put it in my Discord. Other than that, I'm going to end the video here, and you guys have a nice night.